Rosh Chodesh Tov U'Mvorach, and today we're dedicating this Dvar Torah Leilu Nishmat Chaim ben Sarah Shem Tov, and also Leilu Nishmat Rachel bat Miriam Abichzer Alehem HaShalom. The Suda of Rosh Chodesh today is sponsored by Avraham ben Moshe HaKohen, and also sponsored by Meir ben Sharon. They're good friends of Joey Abichzer, who prepared such a beautiful gourmet breakfast for us this morning, Lichbod Rosh Chodesh. So today we are learning the Gemara from Chok L'Yisrael for Wednesday, Parashat Bo. Amar Rabbi Yochanan Mishum Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai. Rabbi Yochanan said in the name of Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, Noach lo le'adam she'apil atzmo lechivshan ha'esh ve'al yalbin penei havero barabim. It's better for a man to throw himself into a fiery furnace rather than publicly put another person to shame. So serious is the avera of embarrassing another person in public. Melalan, where did we learn this from? Mitamar, from the story of Tamar. Dichtiv, that the pasuk says, Hi mutzet veishalcha el hamiha. Tamar could have revealed publicly that the person that she was with was Yehuda, but that would be embarrassing to him, and therefore she preferred even to the point of her being taken to be executed, to be burnt at the stake, and then only at that point did she send a messenger to her father-in-law, to Yehuda, to tell him you would recognize these items who they belong to without even mentioning that it was him. Amar Rabbi Chanina bere de Rav Idi. And by the way, some explanation of Mutzet, even she waited until the fire started almost catching up to her, and then she told them, go and tell Yehuda, and then that's when Yehuda admitted, and that was a virtue also of Yehuda, but she was very careful not to embarrass him in public. Amar Rav Chanina bere de Rav Idi, mai dichti vero tonu ishet amito, am sheitecha b'torah u'mitzvot al toneh. So what does this mean, the pasuk? A man should not cause grief to his fellow Jew. Do not cause grief to a people that is with you in learning and in good deeds. Amar Rav le'olam yehe adam zahir be'onaat ishto. This hurting somebody with words, you have to be very careful to a fellow Jew, and even more so to a person who just converted to Judaism. And such a person, you have to be careful. The Torah warns us about, of course, we're talking about a genuine ger, not to offend him with her words. And here the Gemara says a person should be very careful not to cause ona, not to injure or wrong, or not to hurt the feelings of his wife. Shemitoch shemidata dimata metzuya onaata kerova. Because his wife, since her tears are frequent, it's very easy for a lady to get hurt much more than a man, and therefore, since she's sensitive and can be offended, you should be very careful not to offend her. Amar Rabbi Elazar, miyom shenehera bet hamikdash nin'alu sha'arei tefillah. From the time that Bet HaMikdash was destroyed, the gates of prayer are locked. Shene'emar gam ki ez'ak v'ashavea satam tefilati. Even when I cry out, he shuts out my prayers. However, ve'af al pi she'sha'arei tefillah nin'alu, sha'arei dim'a lo nin'alu. Even though the gates of prayer are locked after the Churban Bet HaMikdash, the gates of tears are not locked. Shene'emar, like the pasuk says, Shim'a tefilati Hashem v'shav'ati azina el dim'ati al teherash. In other words, don't keep silence at my tears. So the tears that a person sheds are very powerful and effective in terms of his prayers to Hashem. Ve'amar Rab, kol ha'olech ba'atzat ishto nofel b'geinom, shene'emar rak lo haya ke'achav v'gomer. It says a person that goes, and Gemara is going to clarify this point here, but initially it says that anyone who goes and follows his wife's counsel, his wife's advice, will descend into Gehinnom. Amar le Rav Papa le Abaye ve'amre in she'itetach gutza gehin v'tirchosh la. How could you say that? It says in another place, Papa said, it says, people say, if your wife is short, bend down and hear her whisper. So therefore you should pay attention to what she's telling you. So how can you say, don't pay attention to what your wife advises you? Okay. Gemara says, it's no difficulty. Where it is to general matters, he should not seek her counsel. And the other where he should is in household matters. Gemara says, another explanation. One refers to religious matters, where you don't have to seek the advice of your wife. You can ask the rabbi, what is the halakha on a certain subject? Or should you give tzedakah here or there? Or should you go and learn an extra hour? That you ask your rabbi, you don't ask your wife. However, the other, on different secular questions, that ask your wife for her opinion, because she might have definitely a specific understanding that will be very helpful to you. Amar Rav Chazda kol ha'sharim anim chutz mishare ona'ah. Rav Chizda said, all the gates are locked except for the gates of the people who have been wronged. So when the people who have been wronged, whether they're cheated or hurt their feelings, then when they cry to Hashem, Hashem listens to them. Shene'emar ve'ineh Hashem nitzav al chomat anach u'biyado anach. Amar Rabbi Elazar hakol nifra bidei shaliach chutz me'ona'ah. According to Rabbi Elazar, everything, all evil is punished through an agent, except when somebody wrongs another, that is not through a messenger. Like the Pasuk says, Ubiyado anach. And in his hands of Hashem, the hand of Hashem, is the anach, which is a type of a tool to see that something is straight. Amar Rabbi Avu, Shlosha ena pargud nigal be'rehem, ona'a ve'gezel ve'avodah zara. There are three evils that the curtain of heaven is not closed, and these are verbal wronging, offending someone, robbery, and idolatry. Ona'a dichtiv u'biyado anach, gezel dichtiv hamas v'shod ishama ba'al panay tamid, avodah zara dichtiv ha'am ha'machisim oti al panay tamid. He brings here three psukim to indicate that each one of these three things, hurting somebody's feelings, wronging him with words verbally, or gezel, stealing avodah zarah, he brings the psukim here to prove that these are very serious, grave averot, that the curtain of heaven is not closed in front of them. Ve'amar Rabbi Chalavo, le'olam yeh adam zahir b'chivod ishto. Rabbi Chalavo says a person should always be very careful with the honor of his wife. The honor that is due his wife, he has to be very careful to give her the honor that is due to her. She'ena beracha metzuya betoch beto shel adam ela bishvil ishto. Because blessings rest on a man's house only on account of his wife. So the blessings in your home, your wife has a lot to do with her. So please, this Gemara reminds us to give her the honor that is due to her. Shene'ema, like we learned in the book of Bereshit, Ul Avraham etiv ba'avurah. It says that Hashem benefited Avram because of her, because of his wife. Va'enu de amar lehu Rava, and this is what Rava says. Livnei Mechuzah, he told to the people of the town of Mechuzah. He told them, O kirun in shaychu, honor your wives, kihechi detit atru, so that you may become rich. So that's a formula for wealth. Give honor to your wife, and that should be a source of blessings. And the shiur today was Le'ilu Nishmat Chaim ben Sarah Shem Tov, and also Le'ilu Nishmat Rachel bat Miriam Abichzer. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen.